Yo, what's good, Facebook? This is your boy, your cousin, your friend, your homie, the homie, favorite podcast guru, Raxx McLeod. And thank you for joining us at the Raxx City 314. Let's get this show started.
One, two. Gentlemen. But shizzle, dizzle.
Yo, what's going on? This is your boy. This is your cousin. This is your homie. I'm here. Yes, I am. Right back at you on another day with another podcast, ready to give you what you need for your podcast needs. You hear me? How everybody doing tonight? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yes, I am. Now, hit you with the first thing for the night. I'll hit you with the word of the day, which is garnish. It's a verb to decorate, embellish, to add a decorative or a savory touch to food or drink, or to equip with accessories. All right, that's garnish. A lot of y'all already knew what that was or is. However you want to word it, you know what's up. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and get into what we came here for, what y'all came here for, and that's for the news. Some stuff that I bring to you. Most of the time, it reaches before the news outlets do. But I'm gonna go ahead and get right on top of this. All right, going to my stories here. We got data on the Gilead drug races, hopes in pandemic fight. Fauci calls it highly significant. The top U.S. infectious disease official said Gilead scientists incorporated experimental antiviral drug remdesivir will become the standard of care for the COVID-19 as early clinical trial results on Wednesday showed it helped patients recover more quickly from the illness caused by the coronavirus. This new drug basically, well, I think it's been around for a while, but it seems to work 31% faster than those given a placebo. And when I saw that, I was like, a placebo? So were they giving people like a fake, uh, like a fake drug, or just something to make them feel like they was getting better? Like, I don't know. It kind of left one of those kind of feelings in my stomach. Like, I don't know about that. Kind of make me wonder now. Like, they really out here, you know what I'm saying, experimenting for real. They really not giving you nothing. They're giving you the fake stuff, and that's kind of messed up that they doing that. That they're giving you the fake stuff, but it's just one of those things that you know has me wondering, like, man, they need to think real long and hard about the stuff they doing, because it's an actual pandemic that's going around, man. And, nobody want to be joking around with no disease and playing around with their life. So you looking at this, please stop playing around with people's lives. Like, people do not have time to be playing games, especially with something that has many symptoms and can cause even your closest friends to just start acting funny towards you just because you got it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I know some people who got it, and I don't know if I'm gonna feel the same being around them again, because you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, knowing that death just looms around a person and makes you just kind of feel like, I don't know. I'm still loving regardless. I'm gonna still hang my friends regardless. It's gonna take a while though. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a nice little minute, because I'm gonna make sure it's all the way about you. You know what I'm saying? I also saw that Tom Cruise, I mean not Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, sorry. He beat the coronavirus, so he offered up his plasma so that they could study the antibodies and things that his body was doing to fight it. So I don't know what that's supposed to do. Maybe he was patient zero. I know they've been trying to find patient zero, so I mean, you never know. maybe this whole at the end, this whole virus thing is something that's gonna actually be a movie. Maybe this was a movie being shot. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to make sure it was based around realism. So you never know, y'all. Keep your eyes open. Let's just keep watching. Remember what I said too when all this stuff first kicked off with this coronavirus. I had said they got so much stuff going on in the media, and to keep you from seeing things that's going on behind closed doors, that you need to start paying attention to the sky. Say, pay attention to the sky, because we might start seeing some type of activity happening in space, some stuff they really don't want us to see. Because when you have stuff like this to attack the whole world, that means that it's stuff that you're really not supposed to be seeing abroad. So, pay attention, because you might just run across something, you might just see something, you might just find out some things that's going to very, very surprise you and have you wondering, like, hey, maybe this is what's going on. Because it could be that that's what's going on. Also, you also want to make sure, guys, that you want to watch everyone, all the people that's moving around and all this stuff. Just make sure that you are in control of the germs that go in and out, viruses, sicknesses. Um, you want to make sure you're clean, keep your fingers and hands clean, keep your faces clean. Just remember that when you're out here, that this stuff, um, people talking in the air, sending the aerosol, and that's the dry cough that can linger in the air for hours. Also, the water droplets, surfaces, and things of that nature. Watch out what you're touching. Some people can get tired at these restaurants, grocery stores, things like that, of wiping things down every single time. Humans have a problem with being repetitive when it comes down to safety. So you have to make sure that you're being repetitive with the things that you do to try and stay safe. Always remember that. All right. Check on the elderly, people that are in the nursing homes and things of that nature, because we definitely got a good Takachi award for the day. And but you want to check on the elderly. You want to make sure that you're communicating with people who have anxieties and fears. Let them know that they're not robots or machines, that they are humans. They are allowed to have emotions. But it's up to you to be a good human being and to be a good person, uh, to help others out by talking to them, especially if you're a level headed, rational individual. You should be able to sit down and communicate and talk and be able to relay the most important information and try to help people out. All right. That's very, very, very important. So I definitely encourage you to experiment with your communication level and see how that can be of an assistance to other people. Okay. And I send the kudos to you all that are doing that, because you all are also heroes, not just the healthcare industry, first responders and things of that nature. A lot of them definitely are um, helpers one to another. So you have to make sure that you're doing the exact same thing. Do your part to help curb this virus. A lot of you are, I commend a lot of you for doing what you're doing. Just continue it on. This virus isn't going anywhere anytime soon. You can definitely believe that it's going to be lingering. So I think everyone should be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to be in a situation where you're fighting for your life when all you have to do is be safe. Everybody wanted everything rushed back open. I totally understand. It's driving a lot of people crazy. They can't get certain things done that they need to have done. Don't want to get caught lacking or anything like that. But I can definitely assure you all, with everything opening back up, a lot of you need to make sure that all the unfinished business that you couldn't do before this virus came about as a pandemic, you want to make sure you take care of all that unfinished business, because it's the peers in the communities that have been going out and being very vocal on how they want things to open back up. And once these things open back up, you guys better be on the ball of getting stuff together. because all of that fighting that's being done, you guys know who it's being done by, but just know that by the time that stuff comes back open, they're going to be at your necks to try and get all the stuff that you couldn't get done. You got pissed off right wingers. So you want to make sure that, because it seems like when a certain group of people get together and start marching, and you know, I'm not going to call it protesting. I'm going to call that marching. You have all those marchers together, marching together, and showing displays of intimidation, using weapons and things of that nature. You better believe it's another undertone. Remember what I said? There's overtones and undertones, and a lot of us be so far above there, so we don't understand what's going on down here because they expect you to stay up there. They don't want you to know what's going on down there. So once you come down, you're gonna see everything that's going on down there below. So it's up to you to make sure that you stand on the level playing field. You can see both sides, up or down, or if you choose to look left or right, make sure you just right there. Stay in between the lines so you know exactly what's going on. When people are talking, read in between the lines. That's very, very important. Don't take one thing that a person say and run with it. You have to read in between the lines. Just like when you're listening to Donald Trump, you have to read in between the lines. All right, that shows that you or a thinker. You are the type of person who can have a broader mind frame when it comes down to understanding things. So definitely read between the lines because a lot of times the truth lies in between the lines. Okay, guys. So let's always remember some of these things. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get to talking about Russia. Russia has a coronavirus outbreak. It's getting pretty bad, and Putin says the worst is yet to come. And pretty much, Russia was always going to struggle if a large outbreak occurred in the country, and experts predicted one almost certainly would due to the country's proximity to China and tightly packed cities, including the capital of Moscow. Hospitals in urban areas lack reliable medical equipment and staff to operate them, to say nothing of the state of medical facilities in rural areas. But few expected to be on that list. They didn't expect it would be that bad. So as of 28th, Russia reported nearly 100,000 confirmed coronavirus cases and nearly 1,000 deaths. Those numbers make Russia the eighth hardest hit country in the world. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday admitted that the country had a shortage of critical personal protective equipment for healthcare workers and warned that the worst of the pandemic is yet to come. It seems like Russia is in first, they're in their first stage like we were. And, that PPE was something that we definitely needed very, very badly. But when you had the epicenter that got hit pretty bad when we had China and all of its neighbors, um, they were pretty much utilizing all of that PPE as much as possible. So, but China being one of the main suppliers of a lot of stuff, a lot of things that are used around the world, with them having something happening there, of course, they're going to use their resources first. So you have to be careful, you all, with your traveling, with the people that you know who have traveled outside the country in different areas. It's not saying you have to alienate yourself, but it's just saying you have to be careful. You have to be precautious because you never know. Just think about it. When you have to leave the U.S. and go to another country, they make you get so many shots in order to leave, just so that when you come back, you won't bring anything with you. And when you come back, they hit you up again. So you have to make sure that you're taking the necessary precautions because evidently there are things in other parts of the world that affect you, differently because you're not exposed to it. We have a different type of healthcare system here, almost one of the best ones in the world. So you want to make sure that when you're going places, that you have to remember that hey, this place is not really like where I'm from. So me getting sick over here is not being sick at home, and it's not the same as being sick at home. You might get sick there with the cold, and it might be worse than when you're at home. So you just got to know where you are. You got to pay attention to certain things. Okay, very, very, very Very, very important. Your life is that much more important than death. Okay, you really not trying to die right now. So just watch yourself. Wuhan shows the world that the end of lockdown is just the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis. So pretty much the crisis that they're speaking of is the economy. And then going back to the normal way of life. It's like you go through the COVID-19 crisis, everything that's going on in it, but it's the fact that once it's all over, remember I said there's a lot of people that's still going to want their 6 feet of distance or more. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to probably be wearing those masks until, they're completely tired of wearing them. So they're absolutely sure the virus has been eradicated, burned, and sent back to hell. So you are going to have some people that's going to still be acting like they're in the pandemic. They're going to be excessive hoarders, going to be buying up all the toilet paper and staying on top of the water supply that they have, staying up on top of the toilet tissue, the cleaning products, things of that nature. A lot of people probably are going to all the way avoid restaurants, fast food restaurants. They're probably going to keep cooking dinners at home themselves. So there are going to be a lot of industries that are still going to be affected because of this. You got a lot. I know a lot of people that turned into vegetarians since this happened. So you have to really understand that this is something that is virtually the virus may be gone, but a lot of people are still going to live in the COVID-19 era. So that's very, 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 very important to remember, guys. You have to really remember these things. Um, you have to just know how to adjust. And no one's going to be mad at you because you want to take precautions because at least it lets you see that um, people can stay clean. All right. Now, I was looking up some information earlier today, and there was a something I was looking at. I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna go into it because I know that I still have it, and it had something to do with rodent urine. Because I was like, man, I wonder what are the effects of rat urine, and it just had me wondering because I was like, hey, I was just thinking of stuff like, well, this is how it came about. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I didn't want to scare anybody, but hey, I think like this. I remember back in the day where this lady had bought a soda from the store. And when she bought a soda from the store, she really didn't pay attention to it. She just grabbed it and did a grab and go. And she cracked the soda open and she just got to drinking it. Now, she didn't really pay attention to the top of the soda. So what she ended up doing was she started drinking out of it, and then she didn't drink the whole thing. She still had some left, and I want to say a short time later she started feeling very ill, and she hadn't, from what I understand, hadn't did much that day. This was like an early, like a morning time. She was having the soda. I guess she was at work or whatever, but she just started feeling sick, and that was the only thing that she had dealt with. Just so happened she had still had the can. What ended up happening is that she went and looked at the can and she noticed that there was a uh, like a stain, like a yellow stain. So I can only assume maybe she was drinking a clear soda, and she noticed there was a yellowish type stain on the can around the little dip that goes around there. I want to say that's in order to let air uh, come in so that you won't have a weird way of drinking like the old school cans that didn't have it. And basically, what she ended up doing was going to the hospital. She took the can with her, and she was concerned about what was on the can. And when they did tests, come to find out that it was rat urine that was on the test. I mean, that came back on the test, and caused a very, very big issue. I think it led to a lawsuit due to that fact. So I looked it up and I was like, man, let me check this out and see uh, what that was. and that was called Wales disease. Weils. Wales disease, um, and it's leptospirosis. Leptospirosis. Uh, it's a disease. It's a form of a bacterial infection, also known um, as that. That is carried by animals, most commonly in rats and cattle. Can be caught by humans through contact with rat or cattle urine, most commonly occurring through contaminated water. Um, and then I noticed that, let's see, it's very rarely spread from person to person. The illness can be serious, but it's treatable with readily available antibiotics. Okay, and pretty much, start looking at symptoms. Uh, the symptoms were like problems breathing. Uh, let's see, here it is right here. You have the fever, you have the chills, muscle aches, headaches, cough, nausea, vomiting, and loss of appetite. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar. So when I started thinking about, I was thinking about since this coronavirus, they say that it, comes from animals being crowded together in the same areas and stuff like that, which I can only assume that this had to be a festering of different animal urines coming in contact with each other. And, of course, by drying and things of that nature, or other animals licking other animals' urine, which what I come to find out is that most animals of the same species, mainly dogs, uh, what they do is one dog uses the restroom, and if there's like a health issue with one of the dogs, the other dog would lick that other dog's urine from its spot. And dogs pretty much can tell when something is wrong with the other dog just by tasting their urine. Thought it was very interesting because doctors test your urine and you have some type of bacterial infection or anything like that. They have you do a urine analysis and they check your urine. They able to check the cultures and different things that are in your urine to try to tell your pH levels is off and you know underlying issues that they can find out through urine. Um, I noticed that dogs are like scientists, so they can tell, they can figure those things out. So I was just wondering that some people probably uh, need to just be checked, especially if you got rats in your house, rodents and things like that. You know, you could possibly have Will's disease. I'm just putting it out there. Some people claim they're so clean, but their houses be dirty. We have little critters, little guests, live-in guests that they really don't want to stand there, but you know, they squatters. Came in your house, squatted, and now you can't get them out. They just in there. So just like roaches and stuff can have spread disease and things of that nature, you know, make sure your house all the way clean before you claim you got COVID-19 because you could have something else. You know what I'm saying? You just make me wonder how many people actually had that. You know, don't know, but it seemed like the symptoms are all the same. You know, your human body reacts in ways that you just can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? So always be on guard. Always know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very important. Notice I had to say it like country. Very, very, very important. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and shoot on over to some different type of information because it's just like, hey, we need to focus on something else right now. Everybody been wondering about Kim Jong Un. It was reports that he was dead and things of that nature, but some resources say that there was the recent satellite photo indicating that the North Korean dictator might actually be at a luxury a coastal resort on the Hermit Kingdom's northeast coast. And despite worldwide speculations about his death, since Kim last seen on April 11th, missed an April 15th commemoration that celebrated the 108th birthday of his late grandfather, North Korean founder Kim II's son. Uh, Unverified reports have emerged about possible illness. A key aide to the president of South Korea insisted on Sunday that Kim, who is believed to be 36, was alive and well. He has been staying in the Wonsan area since April 13th. Chung In Moon, foreign policy advisor to the South Korean President Moon Jae-in, told Fox News no suspicious movements have so far been detected. Kim Jong Un and North Korea's cult of personality explained on Tuesday. The North Korean monitoring website NK Pro reported that recent commercial satellite imagery showed leisure boats often used by Kim near his exclusive villa in Wonsan. Uh, Compound features it features guest villas, private beach, basketball court, covered yacht berth, and shooting range and private train station. North Korean dictator is believed to have a multi-million-dollar yacht. It was spotted in the background of photos released by state media in 2013. Um, they have been watching him. I can be honest with you all. When you're watching other worldly leaders like that, it's a very high possibility that people are trying to find ways um, to try and they're trying to find ways to possibly, uh, I think, to probably try to invade us. I'm not sure. Just seems real interesting. So, I mean, let the man be where he's gonna be at. If you wanna get away and get some air because this virus is driving him nuts, then let him do what he's gonna do. I mean, they're doing entirely too much to try to figure this man out, and he obviously just doesn't want to be bothered. So they should probably just leave him alone. Probably be very beneficial to just leaving the man alone. Sometimes people just need a little peace and a break. So what a lot of people only ask for is just that break. All right. Now, the nursing home industry pushes for immunity from lawsuits during the coronavirus emergency. There are about 15,600 facilities pretty much in the nursing home industry. And pretty much I, they're trying to get immunity for the deaths that happens and regarding the coronavirus. And being honest with you, I think that a lot of these nursing homes are trying to hide the fact that they neglect the elderly and don't have plans in effect to where they can be protected against coronavirus. And I think they're just trying to find a way to, you know, not get in trouble for not doing their jobs. A lot of these people that get in this healthcare field, they are really trying to cut corners right now. Like you have a lot of people in those nursing homes that are trying to cut corners, and it's not a good thing. You do have a lot of them that are doing their job, but you do have quite a bit that aren't doing their job. They run the actual nursing home into the ground. All right, so it's not really a. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they want immunity, but I'm also saying that it's not really a good thing that they're doing it because now it makes you wonder about your family and what if they were trying to hide things? Because we remember seeing something about the nursing home that it had 17 bodies where and this was in New Jersey at the Andover Subacute and Rehab Center where they had 17 bodies in a makeshift morgue. And I want to say that morgue was like outside in a shed or something like that. They were trying to hide the bodies. And it was bad. It was bad. A lot of them were keeping people's families in the dark anyway when those things happen. That was out there at in New Jersey. They were trying to keep family members quiet and out in the dark about deaths and what was going on regarding COVID-19. And this just comes in a age where everyone likes to sue. And it's not saying it is wrong because the simple fact, if you're running a business and you're guaranteeing to care for someone and you're constantly dropping the ball and it's causing people to lose their lives, then people should always, um, they should always try and figure out what's going on. They should always try to come down on a person because you're paying for those services. That person that's in the nursing home, they're paying for services. So you have to hold people to their standards. That's just the thing. People need to be held to their standards. Like if you providing a certain standard, you need to be held to it. And especially if a person agrees to do business with you under the said standards, you must stick to those standards and assure the people that are doing business with you that those standards will always be kept. Right? Very important. It really makes me upset to see things like that. And that is why this leads me to uh, the Takachi Award that is going on for the day. All right. The Takachi Award, I'm gonna need the digital authorities to go summons this particular case now. This is a personal case from someone that I know. So I'm sending the digital authorities to go grab this story for me. Right. Thank you, digital authorities. I appreciate you showing up and coming to take this one to justice. Now, what you need to know, there is a nursing home rehab center here in St. Louis, Missouri. They are called Laclede Groves. Laclede Groves, out in Webster Groves. All right. Now, Laclede Groves, this this nursing home, rehab place, senior living facility, senior living nursing home, this place has COVID-19 cases. I want to say the last I checked, they had 5 COVID-19 cases that they were trying to keep under wraps. But for some reason, those cases ended up in the news. Now, everyone knows that they had these cases. Well, most people did. But what happened next is the reason why they're getting this Takachi Award for the day. And for those of you that do not know what the Takachi Award is, it is similar to the Donkey of the Day. All right. It's just that I need to call it my own thing because I think it's a nice concept. I just don't want to steal the brother's name for it. But I do agree with him that there are dumb people. I'm going to call them something. There are dumbass idiots who definitely, definitely deserve to be put on a broad stage and shamed. Shamed very hard. They need to be shamed badly in the most horriblest way. So, Laclede Groves, you are definitely getting shamed today. All right. You all had a young lady that was working for you on the front lines, healthcare worker, putting her life on the line every time she came to work to serve you all for the amount of money that you were paying her. All right. Probably wasn't any type of hazardous pay being paid to the young lady. But what happened was that this young lady was part of a like a healthcare group or a private. It was a private group, private. Wasn't open to the public. When you go on and you try to join the group, you have to be approved by admin and things of that nature. All right. Now they were talking about places that were having, coronavirus outbreaks in the nursing industry. And this young lady simply asked, "What about Laclede Groves?" And Leclee Groves, you guys chose to fire her because she asked this question, which only means that some worker that works at your place of business came and snitched on her, reported her as if she was putting this on her own personal page. Now, on her own personal page, she has thousands of friends on there. Now, she could have put it on there. She might have way more of a response. Way more people would have chimed in about it. She was in a place that was private where her comment was she should have had her little freedom of speech in private group. But for some reason, you guys do have a social media, um, social media policy, and it's bad because you know during this time frame we need people taking care of these elderly folks. And I'm pretty sure if she really had a problem with you all in the coronavirus cases, she would have been coming to work. She would have been coming to work, but she kept coming to work. So for you all to have fired her, uh, just for that reason of saying, well, what about? I mean, let's take the actual post away of it talking about coronavirus, and you just say, what about the Cleveland Groves? Now, what if it said, uh, blah blah blah, or Sue Ellen's nursing home is a great nursing home, and we put that post that she said underneath it. What about the Cleve Groves? Would you have her fired her then? What if it said, um, you know, SSM, a nursing home, did a great job on the front lines taking care of the people of the hospital? What if it was her post at the bottom and said, well, what about Cleve Groves? I mean, I'm just wondering, would you have fired her if that exact same post was attached to a different post? Would you have to did that? Her comment, I'm sorry. What if her comment was attached to a different post that had something totally, absolutely positive in it? Would you have to fire her then? I'm waiting. You know, I assume not, because you would have looked at it like, oh, she's trying to boast us up. It's not like she tore you down in the comments. She was just asking a question. Come to find out, yes, you guys were in the news for having positive COVID-19 cases. I don't know how many deaths out of those. I'll check. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on that because now I want to know. You have drawn my attention, and now I would like to know exactly what's going on in your nursing home. Now, what I will say is that you're heartless, you're gutless. Um, I plumb think that you're a fool for getting rid of someone who was definitely ready to come to work and do what they had to do every single day. It absolutely makes no sense that you would do a person like this. Um, you guys are stupid. All right, you're in Webster Grove, so I'm pretty sure it's a lot of sedity, uppity, nose in the air as people that work there and that probably even lives there. But she was still willing to come to work and deal with your BS every single time she showed up and be peaceful about it, just to turn around and get fired asking a question uh, on her own website, or her own page rather, and go to a private group and she's in there. It's private, meaning that it's private. Do you walk around and let people look at your privates? No, you don't. So she was in the privacy of her home, in the privacy of her social media page, inside of a private group that's private inside of their social media page. So I don't really understand what's the big deal, but you all deserve to have all of the elderly people in every nursing home across the United States to get together and knit the most ugliest dunce hat that they can knit. I'm talking using the ugly colors, like colors that just make you like, whoa, like a combination of pink, brown, green, uh, uh, throw up yellow, you know, like the most roughest looking, dingy white yarn that they could find, and just mix up just some crazy, horrible um, crap. And, you know, let's see what we got here. We got someone that went on and put up a post here to comment on this. She had no business putting her job out there. She didn't want to face the consequences. Hey, I totally understand. I totally understand. But it's just a simple fact. We're going through the coronavirus times. How is they really hurting her? Like, how are they really hurting her? All she could do is like go file for unemployment and get $600 a week. She gonna make more doing that than she did working there. So, do they really, really think they hurt her by doing that? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, that was that lady's income. So by them firing her and she's staying in a rental property, completely like just flipped her whole life upside down. You know, but I'm pretty sure the $600 a week that she's going to be getting, the 2,400 a month, is going to be something that she definitely is going to be able to take care of her bills and her business with. But definitely had to shame. Well, hold on. I got somebody that's chiming in saying if she said something racist on the job, found out, would you be mad if she got fired? She said something racist. Well, I can answer that question. All right. If she did say something racist and her job found out, that would definitely be on her. Um, racism is something that really should not be entertained in the community in the world right now. I mean, it's just something period that just don't it doesn't need to be entertained. So, you know, if you use racist remarks online, people they report you. You know, you get in trouble by the admins. Get in trouble by the overseer of Facebook that oversees those things. So, if it's offensive, it's offensive, and it's something that's just gonna, lead to bad things. You know, but at the same time, you know, that's a tough one when it comes down to it. But firing someone because they're just exposing she really didn't even expose the truth. She just asked the question, "What about the three groves?" You know, just said, "What about?" She didn't expand on it. Didn't go into any other details. It was just simply a sentence. It didn't say, "What about that uh, piece of crap place where I work? They don't even take care of their people. The food is nasty. It's always people complaining." Before the coronavirus, there was already people that were dying in there. Like, she didn't say any of that type of stuff. She just simply said, "What about Laclede Groves?" And Laclede Groves uh, chose to just let her go. And last I checked out here, there's nobody really trying to go work in those places right now. Just due to what's going on right now. So essentially, you had a person who was working an essential job, and a risky one at that, and let him go just due to that. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's really how I feel when it comes down to it. That's what makes us all different. It makes us all unique individuals. Is that we have our ways of thinking, and I just feel they deserve that. I mean, even if it was someone else and they had the same scenario, their job doesn't have to be that, I would still think it's just jacked up. You know what I'm saying? I also think it's jacked up how, you know, my son was working at Enterprise, right? And a lot of people who were there were part time. They work outside. And the people that work at the desk are full time. They let all the part time workers go until this whole virus thing was over. You know, it was they didn't give them a warning or anything. They just showed up to work and said, "Hey guys, this is the last day until um, everything get reinstated." They're just looking like, "Oh, y'all could have let us know something. We would have started looking for other jobs." So my son had to sit around for about a week and a half to 2 weeks until he found something else. And he found something else, but it was just a simple fact. A lot of jobs do things without warning. They do things, and they're not really trying to understand um, what it is when it comes down to being involved in a pandemic. So you know, it's just difficult. When you have to deal with these type of scenarios, because a lot of times other people aren't thinking about other folks when they lose their jobs. They're just out there by themselves. A lot of family members don't want to help people, especially when they see the fact that um, you know when they see that, hey, this person lost their job and they're not putting up any money to try to help me out. And I'm not saying that it's I'm not saying that that should be expected, but at the same time, when you're dealing with family, you're dealing with friends, uh, people should help reach out to you. I've seen a lot of people during this time going setting up GoFundmes or putting their cash apps out there so that they can get some help. They sucked it up and said, "Man, I gotta ask the Facebook community for help because I just can't rely on my family. My family might be looking at them like that they're some schemesters or something like that, or oh, they really don't need it." You have some people, families that are the biggest haters to them than anybody else. So, and I know a lot of you can understand that. You have a lot of jealousy, people that don't want to see you doing well at all. They might look at you being successful, and their whole life is nothing but trying to upstage you. So when they work, they want to work and they want to save up money because they know it's going to be a time where they're going to be able to crap all over you, to make you seem like you're nothing, and they're up there doing this and that. And you might not even be the type of person that's trying to do it. You just living your life and trying to provide for yourself, and some people just don't really understand that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of people really have to have a heart. They have to be open minded. These businesses, they have to have hearts. Open minded, understand that there are people that are stressed out right now. There are people that are scared. Like I could use myself for instance. I work in the healthcare industry as well, rehab specialist. And thing about it is that I be kind of freaked out. I was freaked out going to my client just for the simple fact that you know he had everyone in his family was sick you know at different times, and it was scares going on like COVID-19 scares. Like people will have these symptoms and it's like, do you have this? And they will get tested and take almost 2 weeks. This was in the beginning. Take almost 2 weeks for some tests to come back. And during that time, it's the most uneasiest time that you can have is being a person that's uh, a healthcare worker. It's something that's very, very um, nerve wracking when you know that, man, I'm around this person. I can be around this person for hours and I'm just in here. I don't know if I can catch some or there's just germs looming around. Like you never know what the case is. So it's very important that we show a little love to all these people that are working these type of jobs, guys. It's something that we all must take to the forefront and just really realize that, hey, it can cause a lot of damage. So we got to be able to support these other people. You know what I'm saying? So for that reason, that is why I am giving McLeod Groves um, that award for the day because I just really feel that they deserve it. I really, really do. And those old ladies that are building that dunce hat, they've been still building that dunce hat while we've been talking. And I definitely think that that dunce hat should be placed upon their heads. Those admins of that facility, they need to wear the dunce hats. We need to know that we can see you everywhere that you are, and we also need to hear that horn letting us know when your BS is about to get ready and be on the fan, because we know the smell is going to be strong, and we know that the speckles of the fecal matter, the social fecal matter, is going to start flying through there. We need to be watching out. We need to be standing um, far away, not with the downdraft of wind when that fan starts blowing your hot trash, garbage, booty meat all through the air. We do not want to smell it. We do not want to see it. We definitely want you. Uh, we definitely want you to know that we are not with it. We are not with it. And yes, I agree. Big Dog 357. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about Big Dog 357 now. This. All right. LeClee Groves, you deserve that dunce hat. Wear it proudly because you are the stupid idiots for the day. We definitely are crowning you with that. So wear it proudly because everyone's going to know who you are. All right. Now, to talk about Big Dog 357. Big Dog 357, I'm going to need you to email me and we need to talk because I need to know who Big Dog 357 is. Big Dog 357, I want to say, is one of my regular viewers. I want to give a big shout out to you because you every time you're on, you're very involved. I definitely appreciate it. You have a very interesting way of looking at things. Guys, if you all could see half the stuff that he puts in or she puts in, I'm pretty sure this is a he, that he puts in on here. Um, it's very interesting. Half the time I be rolling. We had the menacing bystander here on Mondays, and I just closed a little uh, semi deal with the menacing bystander and the menacing bystander. Bram Mueller definitely let me know that he was game for menacing Mondays on a regular basis. So I am going to have him as a regular on Mondays, just so we can know what's going on. Um, Big Dog 357 definitely had us rolling because after we were done doing the videotaping of that podcast, me and him sat back and we were just dying laughing off the remarks. I mean, it had us going. So I would definitely love to have Big Dog 357 as maybe one day I'll interview you and have you on the show. We're going to see what's up. It should be fairly easy. I'll just have to get with you and let you know what you would have to do when the time comes so I can send the link to you so you can join in. And we're going to have a nice topic that we're going to go with. But I think on that day, we're just going to interview you. We're just going to see what's going on, who you are, um, catch some of your views, and we're just going to shoot the breeze. We're going to see what's going on. All right. Big Dog 357, much love. Thank you. You are the fan of the week for us. We definitely going to make sure that we take care of you when the time comes. All right. Now, to all of those people who have been showing support, I want to thank you all for showing support. Us here at Rack City 314, when I say us, I mean me, because I'm doing all this like myself right now. So I definitely appreciate all of you that view that stay on for this late show. It's definitely something that, I was doing it earlier in the day at like 8:30, 8 o'clock, 7:30. It was like different little times right up in there. And then I just decided, hey, I get all of the news for the day when I wait till the end of the night. And usually at the end of the night, I'm usually getting stories that are just breaking. So if I'm reporting on them late at night, I'm usually the first one to them or the second one to them before it really hits the news outlets. So I'm able to bring certain stuff to you before it even hits the news in the morning. So you're getting it from me. I like to think first as I'm getting it fresh off the presses when I'm reading it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do a freestyle type of podcast because I like to see the things as they're coming. So the pauses and the breaks sometimes just mean that certain stories are just coming through, and it's like, hey, I need to report this. So because I'm part of probably about 25 different news outlets, so I get to see exactly what's going on. So I'm committed to this. I'm thankful for those of you that are coming on, that's showing love, um, that do what you have to do to just show me that you support me. I definitely appreciate it. Your efforts would definitely not go unnoticed. So, I got you all. I got you all right. And I definitely think that I do need to build a dunce city for all the members that have hit the Dunce Reward stage. But tonight, definitely Laclede Groves, you get a stage all by yourself. Um, and I hope the dunce hat is just tall and ugly. That way we know where it is. While they're at it, they need to just make you a matching bottom. They can make you matching bottoms. It'd just be nice to see. You might look like a Oompa Loompa or something like that. Because right now, you guys are very, very small, minuscule, like very tiny individuals at that place. And you just deserve it all right? And Big Dog, hopefully, you're Big Dog. I can have you patrol Dunt City and make sure that those little idiots, stupid individuals with their dumb faces and their weird shaped heads and their skin that I just don't understand, you can make sure that they don't get too far and don't get too carried away. Bark at them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, oh, bark at them. Make sure that they stay in their place. All right. For that, guys, I thank you all. I definitely appreciate you all. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If they do, get you a shovel and a sword. Start chopping their heads off. Use the shovel to shovel them up. Toss them down the toilet. Throw a little bit of liquid fire in there, and then shoot them down the toilet as fast as you can. When you get done, spray some Lysol and use some bleach wipes to wipe off the shovel and the sword, because you don't want them contaminated with the blood of the bed bugs. Okay. You guys have, and also when you're doing that to the bed bugs, make sure ain't nobody laying next to you. All the times I'll be saying do that to the bed bugs, but I keep forgetting, like, dang, they in the bed. So you get to shooting at the bed and doing all this stuff to the bed bugs on the bed, and somebody laying on the bed while you're doing that, then that could be a very, very messy situation. All right. So definitely um, watch out. Make sure ain't nobody laying on the other side when you do that. All right. All right. This is your boy Rex McCloud. I'm about to get up out of here. Um, as you can see, my eyes, you know what I'm saying? They are tired. All right. I had a long day today. All right. So you guys have a magnificent night. All right. Peace. I'll see y'all tomorrow.